neither he nor she. It can't be found, but it's all around, quite close to you and me. Magic mouse, magic mouse. It's the one thing that I think of every day. Oh, magic mouse, magic, magic mouse. Won't you please come to my home with me and stay? When you see a twinkle in an eye or a smile upon a face, you'll know that the magic mouse has come and left some happiness in its place. And when you find a penny on the street, you'll know that it's been there. For the magic mouse leaves signs about as it travels through the air. Magic mouse, magic mouse. It's the one thing that I think of every day. Oh, magic mouse, magic, magic mouse. Won't you please come to my home with me and stay? It's a thread so fine it can't be seen, yet so strong it can't break. It makes all as one just for the fun, like ingredients of cake. And on Earth or Mars or Jupiter, its magic still remains. For the magic mouse is everywhere, so don't forget.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you had come in. Welcome, and it's time for a bedtime story with Magic Mouse. As you recall, Magic Mouse moved into the treehouse in Mother Amal's garden, where the children had graciously invited it to live. Mouse being so small, so as never ever to be seen, and no one could tell if Mouse were a boy or a girl. Mouse said it makes no difference. On this particular day, Mayor Findhorn McDeeva and Lawyer Larry called a meeting of the official committee to officially adopt a policy of building a hospital in Angelville. There had never been any illness, but Mayor McDeeva wanted an official hospital in the city, in the town of Angelville. And Lawyer Larry, looking at the appropriation, said, "I'm sorry, dear Mayor, but we have no funds. There is no money available for building a hospital." And Professor Quizzy came and said, why must we call it a hospital? If this is a place of love and joy and understanding and healing, why not build a house of love and healing and not call it a silly name like a hospital? And the official committee officially adopted the official name of the House of Love and Healing. But Professor Quizzy also reminded them that there was no funds. Well, Lawyer Larry, who was an official legal eagle of sorts, said, "Well, we can do what they do in all the large cities. Let us float a bond." Float a bond? Yes, we can float a bond. And the children said, "Can you, Lawyer Larry, take responsibility for taking care of and watching the floating bond?" And it was agreed that they would float a bond. And Subway Smith and Runaway Jones promptly set about in Professor Quizzy's workshop to build a giant pontoon, and upon the pontoon they stapled a bond, and they put it in the pond behind Granny Mabel's stew pot. And Lawyer Larry was told to go into a rowboat and sit there and diligently watch the bond as it floated. And then the children and the flowers and the animals and all others went out, and with their own help and their own desire, they built this magnificent building, a house of love and healing. And it was magnificent. They said, we have to have a medical doctor, and it was agreed. And the tree said, well, we want a tree doctor, and a tree doctor. And there was an animal doctor, and there was a doctor for everything that one could think of. They had doctors that nobody had ever heard of before. And there were so many doctors in this house of love and healing that nobody was worried about being taken ill anymore. But still, they had Lawyer Larry sitting in the pond watching the floating bond. And the hospital was complete, and the mayor went over to Lawyer Larry and said, we have no further need for the bond. And Professor Quizzy went with a giant drill and put some holes in the bottom of the pontoon, and the children all cheered as the bond sank beneath the pond, and the hospital was built, and nobody had to spend any money, and health and happiness and healing and understanding once again returned to Angelville. And it was very difficult for people to get sick because there was no illness. So they had to find another purpose for this building, for this house of love and healing. And they thought they have a marvelous place to put all of the things that they didn't need, all of the things that were obsolete, all of the things that didn't accomplish anything. So they took everything in the village, everything, and put it in the hospital. There was absolutely nothing left, except everything was stored in the village. All that was left was people with smiles and loving expressions, knowing that they had been healed by themselves because they had thought of healing. And dear friends, that's our story for today.
Doggie, why don't you come over here? Doggie, why don't you come over here? I want to play with you, and when we're through, I'll scratch you behind the ears. Doggie, why don't you come over here? Doggie, when you sniff, I want to sniff. Doggie, when you sniff, I want to sniff. Anything new comes by you, and you take a great big whiff. Doggie, when you sniff, I want to sniff. Doggie, when you lick, I want to lick. Doggie, when you lick, I want to lick. You lick me just like I lick a popsicle on a stick. Doggie, when you lick, I want to lick. Doggie, when you sleep, I want to sleep. Doggie, when you sleep, I want to sleep. You lay in the sun where it's nice and warm in a great big furry old heap. Doggie, when you sleep, I want to sleep. Doggie, when you bark, I want to bark. Doggie, when you bark, I want to bark. Chase that cat up the tree and all around the park. Doggie, when you bark, I want to bark. Doggie, when you howl, I want to howl. Ow! Doggie, when you howl, I want to howl. Ow! Every time the siren whines, you throw back your head and yowl. Doggie, when you howl, I want to howl. Ow! Ow! Doggie, why don't you come over here? I said, doggie, why don't you come over here? I want to play with you, and when we're through, I'll scratch you behind the ears. Oh, doggie, why don't you come over here? Come here, doggie. Come on. Come on, I'm not gonna hurt you. Come on, doggie. That's right.
This is Lester Quibbles with my quibble for the day. Who out there likes to go to the dentist? I don't. I certainly don't. I'm going to have to go to the dentist, too, in a couple of weeks and get a root canal. If you've never had one, don't. It's very terrible. Consider the alternative. They pull your tooth out. That's not very good either. Dentists are problematic. They create a problem just by being. I mean, if you didn't have a dentist to go to, you wouldn't have to go to the dentist now, would you? These people are very strange. What they like to do is open your mouth, look inside, and drill little holes. This is stupid. Why don't they get a big rig and drill for oil? Would make them a whole lot more money. Well, this is Lester Quibbles with my quibble for the day, and if you have to go to the dentist, do.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first You Can Make It Happen show. I'm Julie.
And I'm Mo. And we've got a great show for you today. As a matter of fact, we've got a rocket right here in the studio. It's got supersonic jet engines, and it's going to take off and soar into outer space.
We've got what?
A rocket, you know. Well, here. T minus 5. 5, 4, 3. You know, a rocket.
Mo, we don't have a rocket. We have a Rockies. A Colorado Rockies baseball player. Not a spaceship or a shuttle. A baseball player.
Oh, well, that's cool, too.
Oh, it is. And let's welcome our new guest from the Colorado Rockies, the pitcher, Gary Wayne. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Oh, have a seat.
All right.
So what got you interested in baseball?
Well, I have 3 older brothers and sisters. I come from a very athletic family, and ever since I was a little kid, much like the kids here in the audience today, I just remember playing baseball.
That's great. Did you always want to be a pitcher?
Well, there's a funny story with that because I used to think I was a real good hitter, and I'd go out in my backyard and I'd say, boy, I know I'm going to hit the ball today, and I'd come back in, I'd say, Dad, I think that I'm going to be the greatest hitter of all time. And he'd say, well, why do you think that? And he says, well, because I always hit the ball so far. And so he'd say, great. So I'd go back out and I'd be hitting, practicing and stuff. I'd come back in, I'd say, Mom, I'm going to be the greatest hitter. Better than Babe Ruth, better than Ty Cobb, you name it. And he said, why do you think that? He said, because I hit the ball so well, I have a great swing. So they said, why don't you come out and show me? So I said, okay. I took my parents out in the backyard, threw the ball up, and I swung, great swing, but I missed the ball. And I said, boy, wasn't that a great swing? I said, Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth couldn't swing like that.
That's right.
And they said, well, you have a problem. You got to hit the ball. And I said, okay, just a minute. So I threw the ball up, and I swung again, and I missed it. I said, well, how about that swing? That was a great swing, wasn't it? And they're scratching their head, and they're saying, well, not really. And I said, okay, one more. I got one more strike because I swung twice, one more strike, and then I'll have struck an out.
Sure.
So I threw the ball up, and I took a mighty swing, and I missed it again. And I said, how about that? I struck out the greatest hitter of all time. So from that day on, I knew I was going to be a pitcher because I struck out such a great hitter.
You certainly had the confidence, that's for sure, to be a pro player. So, I understand, if my memory serves me right, that you pitched 49 innings, that you had 62 strikeouts, and that you have an ERA of 5.05?
Right.
That's great. That was a good season.
It was a pretty good season. I think I'm happy with the way things turned out. Some of the things that were most memorable for me, getting back to my hitting capabilities, I never thought that I would hit because I'm a relief pitcher. Usually I come in towards the end of the game and I don't get to hit. When it's my turn to hit, they'll put in a pinch hitter and then bring in a new pitcher. So I only batted one time all year. And it was the first time I've ever batted in the major leagues. And we were in Pittsburgh. And I came up when the bases were loaded. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, don't go back to that childhood memory and strike out again. But it was a funny thing. The first 2 pitches were strikes. So there's no balls and 2 strikes. And the next pitch, I don't know how I did it. I don't know if I had my eyes open or closed, but I hit the ball and it went for a base hit single with bases loaded.
That's great. All right.
So that was one of my more memorable things this season. Also, the fans were really great this year, Julie. I'm sure many of your audience and the people out there watching were at many of the games, and they supported us great. So it made a real memorable season for all of us.
We are really excited to have the Rockies here. And, I'd love to have you show me that prize-winning swing.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. We got a bat right here. Show
Okay.
the kids what you consider to be
Okay.
a good stance for a really good swing.
Okay. A good stance, usually you're, now remember, I got a base hit. No one's ever gotten me out in the major leagues. So this is important stuff. So normally you keep your feet about the same width as your shoulders, okay? So you keep your feet about shoulder width. Now I'm a left-handed batter, so you can mirror. Are you right-handed?
I am. I'm
Okay.
right-handed.
So you can mirror the way I
Okay.
swing. Depending on with the size of the bat, you either want to choke up or hold it all the way to the end. Whatever most comfortable. So you want to crouch a little bit, bend your knees a little bit, and you want to keep your eyes always on the pitcher.
Okay.
So you want to keep your eyes always on that baseball.
All right.
So when you swing, your eyes will meet the ball, and the bat will meet the ball, and hopefully it'll go.
Great.
So it's very simple. What I recommend is just do what's comfortable and what comes natural. So let me
Sounds
see
good.
what you got, Julie.
All right. I think I like to choke up.
Okay.
How's that?
Good. Good. Now it's important when you swing, you take a small step. Take a small step and swing. Perfect. Perfect.
That would have been a base hit, no doubt.
Yeah. Now if you ever hit off me, Julie, take it easy on me. I just taught you how to hit, so go easy on me.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fair enough. Okay. How about teaching me how to, I've always wanted to throw a knuckleball.
Okay.
How would you, show me the grip.
Okay, I don't throw a knuckleball, but I've seen many people that do. And the knuckleball is not only the hardest pitch to hit, it's also the hardest pitch to throw.
Okay.
Many pitchers, Phil Niekro was one of the most famous knuckleball pitchers of all time. Charlie Huff is now pitching for the the Florida Marlins. He's another knuckleballer, and batters don't like hitting off of knuckleball pitchers. But normally, it's not really so much a knuckleball, it is a fingernail ball. You dig your fingernails in, either 2 fingernails or 3, and you put your other finger on the side, and you hold it just almost like you would if you were going to throw an ice cube or like a watermelon seed. You just want to toss it real easy so the ball doesn't spin.
Oh, great.
So,
That sounds easy enough. So just something like that?
yeah, it's easy to grip, but it's hard to throw.
I can do that. How about any other pitching tips that you'd like to share with the kids?
Okay, well, usually when I talk with somebody, I do a lot of baseball clinics, and I talk to kids. I teach them how to the basic mechanics behind pitching. I'll cover a few of those steps here.
Okay.
One thing that I always teach kids is to always keep your eyes on the catcher. So when you're pitching, when you hold the ball, keep your eyes on the catcher because you want to concentrate on where you're throwing the ball. Another thing is the grip. The grip is also important, and just like hitting, you want to do what comes natural, what's comfortable. So you can grab the grip with the seams or across all 4 seams, or however you feel is the most comfortable for you. So you want to grip the ball and keep your eyes on the target, which is the catcher. A very easy flowing motion would be just to step back real easily again. You want to be under control. You just come up and kick your leg. You stride forward and boom, you just throw it. And it takes a lot of practice. I can't tell you how many throws I've thrown in my life. I'm sure it's over 1 million if I'd go back and count them. But just do what comes natural and practice. Get out with your brothers or your sisters or your mom or dad and practice. And it can be real simple.
That sounds fun. It's good advice. Anything else you'd like to share with the kids regarding baseball?
Well, I think I'd just like to, on behalf of the Rockies, my teammates, we had such an enjoyable season. I just want to thank everybody here, all the audience out there for supporting us like you have. It's been such a memorable season. We're hoping that we'll do better than we did this past year. We hope to have more exciting games, more wins next year, and I know that if you all come out and support us, we're going to give our best effort to do better.
Oh, thanks a lot, Gary. We wish you good luck next season, and thank you so much for being a part of our show today. Let's give Gary a big hand. Oh, Mo, wasn't that exciting having Gary here? I know the kids were thrilled, too. Mo,
What?
wasn't that great to have Gary here?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you like talented, athletic, good-looking, eloquent, professional ball players, yeah, I guess it's fine.
Mo, you wouldn't by any chance be a little jealous, would you?
No, of course not.
Okay, I was just asking. You know what being jealous is, right? You know what that is.
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. Being jealous is when you feel hurt because someone else is getting all the attention. Or when you wish you could be more like somebody.
Well, Mo, you know, there's no reason for you to be jealous. You have a lot of talents, too.
I don't think so.
Oh, you do. Your talents are just expressed in a different way. Not baseball, but, you know, for instance, your yo-yo.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like your self-esteem is just a little bit low.
Self-esteem? You mean I have steam inside of me?
No, your self-esteem. That's when, you know, basically how you feel about yourself. And when that's a little low, you need to fill that up.
Well, mine is pretty low, but how do I fill it back up? I mean, I can never be a great baseball player like that.
Well, what you do is you just think of some things that you really enjoy doing, and that you're usually very, very, very good at things that you enjoy. And do those, maybe teach someone else how to do it, like your yo-yo, and before you know it, you'll be feeling better.
Oh, well, I don't know. Who would want to learn this?
Hey, Mo, you know, I'm really impressed with the way you throw that yo-yo around. You think you can teach me some tricks? I've always wanted to learn how to do a yo-yo like that. Maybe I can show my friends. It'd really make me happy.
Well, sure, Gary. Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, you're left-handed, so that's going to make a difference. I tell you what, let's go over here and let me show you. First of all, make sure it's on the right finger. If you put it on the wrong finger...
So remember, everyone, if your self-esteem is a little bit low, just fill it up by doing something that you really enjoy. It's usually something you're very good at, and you're not aware of how good you are at that. And teach a friend, and before you know it, you'll be feeling much better. Okay? And now let's listen to what's going on in the news with the You Can Make It Happen News Rap Team.
So we're looking for people who want to lend. The shuttle went back up into space, filled with doctors and astronauts of the human race. It's the longest trip they've ever made. If you want to join them, better keep up your grades. Gangs are still around, not making sense, keeping us scared, uptight, and tense. Stay in school, keep filling up your head. You'll have more fun alive than dead. Gonna show Cleveland just what they're worth. In Somalia, the people are hungry and dying. The UN has been in there working and trying. We could tell you more, but our time is running out. Listen to the news, read the paper, check it out.
Very much. Wasn't that great, Mo?
That was great. You know, I love to have my news hip-hop like that. By the way, let's get some names here. What's your name?
Sean.
Oh, Sean.
Thanks for coming,
Thank you
Sean.
for coming up, Sean. And your name?
Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
Thanks, Tiffany.
And your name?
Jason.
Hello,
Good
Jason.
job, Jason.
Very
Thanks a
good
lot.
job.
Oh, that was great. Did you happen to notice the T-shirts they were wearing, Mo?
Yeah, they were really hot. Why?
Yeah, that's from a company called Too Hype Action Wear, and I got to visit them this week.
Oh.
And they're really an interesting company. They've got really cool clothes. Let's take a look. Watch this. Wait, there's Jeff. Everyone, this is Jeff Penix. Hi, how you doing today? He is the Executive Vice President of Too Hype Action Wear.
How's everyone doing?
Can we take a look at your clothing? We've heard wonderful things about it.
Great, let's do it.
Okay.
What we have here is a Miami Hurricane, which is a collegiate school. Miami in their colors. This is like nylon and fabrication. Everything we do, for the most part, we try to make reversible. As we can show you here with this garment. Reverse it out, and all of a sudden, you have a garment that has just the Too Hype logo on it, which kids like to identify with, so they can have something with a team, and then also with Too Hype on there.
That's very clever.
So that's something that...
I like the texture that's in the nylon also.
Yeah, it's really great. I'd like to show you a few pieces of called our Black College line. We have a Black College license, to where we're licensed to some of the more profound Black colleges. And which is good because that really helps us in the marketplace because we are the only minority-owned sports apparel company.
Is that right?
So yeah, and it's really great to go back and have the experience and go to the Black universities and market that product because you hardly ever see Black college product in the marketplace. It's something that you would have to go to that actual school to get. And now the whole vibe of just the presence of Black college is coming now, and we're one of the beginners of the Black college lines.
The process. We get together, 2Hype Actionwear, the team here, the creative team. We more or less concept or an idea, come up with an idea for a design of the clothing, what we want it to look like, who we want to buy the product, at what price points, and then have our designers, which our design staff is upstairs from us. Our designers go and more or less create bodies, create where they can create in their minds, t-shirts, shorts, sweatsuits, and more or less design it in their heads and come up with styles, different styles of clothing. And from there, we pick color palettes, and kind of color it in, just like with crayons, as kids would do with crayons. We color it in and put it on a storyboard.
Jeff, is there any advice you'd like to give kids regarding doing this as a business in their future if they're interested?
Sure, I think advice is great for kids to identify. I think the first advice is to finish school. I think it's important that we at least finish the high school level. I went on to college, 4 years of college, and my design staff, they all went to design school, and it has really helped them take it to the next level.
Well, thanks very much, Jeff, for having us in your store today.
Thank you.
We had a good time, we learned a lot, and we congratulate you on following your dream.
Always remember, to hype yourself and no one else. That's our motto.
That's right.
Wow, that was really interesting. They've got some really great clothes, and they're a great example of going out and making it happen.
That is really true, Mo. In fact, I really enjoyed meeting Jeff and the other nice people at 2Hype Actionwear. And now we have another very special guest.
Oh, another guest? Oh boy, well, who is it? Is it Michael Jordan?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, is it Macaulay Culkin? Boy, I love that kid.
No, it's not Michael or Macaulay, but it's someone who really likes to climb trees.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. And someone who's very quick and very clever and eats really yummy food. Yummy food if you're a turtle.
Oh, boy! It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle! What is that?
This is Gretchen from the Pet Ranch, and this is her iguana, Cletus.
Oh.
This is amazing. Oh,
Don't be nervous, Mo. He won't hurt you.
oh, he is just beautiful.
Does he bite?
Well, he can bite, but he's a very well-behaved pet.
He is just incredible. If you could all touch him, he feels like a beaded necklace.
What exactly does he eat,
He
Gretchen?
eats fresh fruits and vegetables for the most part. A little bit of animal protein, mealworms, crickets.
Not fingers or anything?
Not fingers.
Okay.
No.
Where does he come from, Gretchen?
Comes from Mexico and Central America mostly.
Okay.
Just going for a walk.
It's just beautiful.
Well, how big can Cletus get?
Well, he's about 3 years old and 3 feet long right now, and he can get to about 4 feet. Some iguanas have even reached 5 feet in captivity.
5 feet? That's like...
Just amazing.
That's big. Really
He's very
big.
big. He's gorgeous. The colors, the greens and the golds, just beautiful. Well, Simo, now that you see that something different isn't so different from us after all, once you get to know him.
Hey, he really isn't so bad. As a matter of fact, I kind of like him.
I do too.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear you say that because I've got an 8-foot python in the car I'd like some help with. Come on.
Oh my God, here he comes. Run for your life.
Well, that was really fun. Speaking of really fun things, I have a trick for you.
Oh, good. I love tricks. What is it?
Well, this one is kind of interesting here. Okay, balloon trick.
I love balloons.
Balloons are a lot of fun here. Now, I'm going to see if I can tie this balloon properly. Would you please hold this for me, please? Thank you. Two balloon trick. Excuse me.
I have such trouble blowing those balloons up. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm glad you didn't have me to try to do that.
If I pass out here, you'll know why. Okay, here we go. Thank you. These are the two balloons. And now, here's the trick. Now, first of all, you know the balloons are just filled with what? With air, right? And therefore, they are very light. Well, would you believe that I can turn these two balloons into magnets?
No way.
Way?
Do you believe it? No.
Do you believe I can turn these into magnets? No. I heard someone say yes. Thank you so much for Okay, now let me show you how I'm going to do that, okay? First of all, I love that noise. Now watch what happens. Oh, is that amazing?
How about that?
Just like a magnet, or even like Velcro, or even like peanut butter on the roof of your mouth. Or have some up there from last night. Or even like, like gum on the bottom of your shoe. When you get that gum on there and it's real hot.
Okay, Mo, I get the idea,
okay.
Thanks. But how does it work?
I'm glad you asked. This is caused by something called static electricity. See, when I rub the balloon like this, like that, then what happens is that I set up a negative electrical charge on the balloon. It's negative, and your shirt, or my shirt, is positive, so it sticks, okay?
Okay, that makes sense. But what if I had two negative charges?
Good question, Julie. Let me show you. You have two negative charges. Then watch what happens when I try and put these balloons together. They don't want to be together because they're both negative. That's right, they're repelling. Okay. As a matter of fact, it's just like, let's say oil and vinegar, or Tom and Jerry, or bare feet on hot cement, or even like dogs and cats, or even like fish.
Mo, I think I got it. You guys got it? Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. That was a fabulous trip, wasn't it? Wasn't that a fabulous trip? Thanks, Mo. And I'm afraid it's already time for the end of our show, and we have had so much fun here today. We hope you have all enjoyed this as much as we have. And if you have any special ideas for our show or guests that you think would be really fun to be here, please write to us at You Can Make It Happen. We'll have the address at the end of our program. And we really want to hear from you because, after all, today's show was made possible by you.
Nah, it was made possible by you.
No, you.
No, you. You.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hi, what would you like to see on TV?
Movie stars, dancers, singers, people.
People.
Some more scientists.
On TV.
Animals. Ballets.
Ooh.
I want to see dancers. Science.
Hey! It's the history lesson. I'm Cockyboo. Today we're going to tell you a history I know the one we'll tell you about. There's a place called New York City. It's a big city that thinks more of itself than other people think of it, but it's got a lot of businesses, it's got a lot of money, and because it has money, it thinks it has power, but whatever. But in New York City, one of the most beautiful things there is a park, and it's called Central Park. And the park is like a half-mile wide and 2.5 miles long, and it's beautiful. It has a zoo, it has a merry-go-round, it has an ice skating rink, and it's a place where people can go to relax during the day. At night they don't relax, but only during the day. But this park, which has brought such joy and such love and such beauty to all the people of New York, came about because of corruption. Oh, I said a dirty word, corruption. That's right. There was a political group in New York way back 100 and more years ago called Tammany Hall. And the Tammany politicians figured nobody lived that far out of the city. Then what was Central Park was in the wilderness. So they made a deal. They all bought the land real cheap, and then they convinced the city to buy it from them for a lot of money. And everybody got upset when they later found out what happened. And the city was stuck with this piece of land that nobody wanted to make a park. And people complained and people got in trouble, but the city was stuck with the land. But today, 120 years later, everybody's happy about it. So is corruption all bad? Yes. But sometimes even God comes along and makes it right. So that's our history lesson for today. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, I'm going to do one more tune for you, and it goes like this. This is a silly song. That's why I like it. Johnny is a joker, he's a dog. He's a funny joker, he's a dog. When he jokes with my gal, he's a dog. You know he's just a work dog on the prowl. Johnny is a joker trying to steal my baby, he's a bird dog. Hey, hey, bird dog, get away from my chick. Hey, bird dog, better get away quick. Bird dog, you better leave a chicken little alone. Hey, hey, bird dog, get away from my quail. Hey, bird dog, you're on the wrong trail. Bird dog, you better find a loving dove of your own. Well, Johnny is a joker, he's a dog. He's a funny joker, he's a dog. When he jokes with my gal, he's a dog. You know he's just a work dog on the prowl. Johnny is a joker trying to steal my baby, he's a bird dog. Hey, bird dog, get away from my chick. Hey, bird dog, better get away quick. Bird dog, you better find a chicken little of your own. Hey, hey, bird dog, get away from my quail. Hey, bird dog, you're on the wrong trail. Bird dog, you better find a loving dove of your own. Well, Johnny sings a love song like a dog. Sings a funny love song like a dog. When he sings to my gal, he's a dog. You know he's just a work dog on the prowl. Johnny is a joker trying to steal my baby, he's a bird dog. Hey, hey, bird dog, get away from my chick. Hey, bird dog, better get away quick. Bird dog, you better find a chicken little of your own. Hey, hey, bird dog, get away from my quail. Hey, bird dog, you're on the wrong trail. Bird dog, you better find a chicken little of your own. Well, Johnny kissed the teacher, he's a dog. Tiptoed up to reach her like a dog. He's a teacher's pet now. He's a dog. Wants all he can get now. He's a dog. He even made the teacher let him sit next to my baby. He's a bird dog. Hey, hey, bird dog, get away from my chick. Hey, bird dog, better get away quick. Bird dog, you better find a chicken little of your own. Hey, hey, bird dog, get away from my quail. Hey, bird dog, you're on the wrong trail. Bird dog, you better find a loving dove of your own. He's a dog. He's a bird dog. He's a dog. He's a bird dog.
I am sad. I am most sad this day for the people of Nineveh. They are wicked and sinful. I must send a messenger to warn them, to tell them to mend their ways and live by my law that I have set down for them. But who shall I trust with this most important message? There is one man who comes to mind. There is Jonah, son of Amittai. Jonah is a good man, but headstrong. I will accomplish two things if I make Jonah messenger of God. Jonah!
Yes, God?
I have a mission for you.
Of all people, God, why have you picked me?
For some time, Jonah, I've felt that you've been running away from me. I need you, Jonah, just as you need me.
What will you have me do, Father?
I want you to go to Nineveh and tell the people of that great city that they must stop sinning, or I shall be forced to destroy their city.
But, God, I don't want to go to Nineveh. It's a wicked city.
That's why I want you to go and tell the people they have 40 days to give up their sinful ways.
Oh, gosh. Do I have to go there?
Yes, Jonah, you must go. And when you do, you will also learn a great lesson yourself.
Me? When did I ever do anything wrong?
Well, shall I look in my book?
Oh, you got a book?
Yes, Jonah.
Oh, then you know about the time that I didn't...
Yes, Jonah.
And then last week when you asked me to and I didn't...
Yes, Jonah.
And you know about the time I didn't tell you that I...
Yes, Jonah.
I better go to Nineveh.
Attention. Boat for Jericho and Babylon leaving from Pier 7. Boat from Thyatira and Ephesus arriving at Pier 7. Uh-oh. There will be a bus leaving for Jericho in 20 minutes.
Pardon me, sir. Do you sell boat tickets?
Yes.
I'm Jonah.
Oh, have I got a trip for you, Mr. Jones?
Jonah, and I want...
Only $32.50 round trip to Tarshish.
No, I don't want to...
6 fun-filled days under tropic skies and romantic nights under desert stars.
I want one ticket.
Or is it 6 fun deserts under tropic fills or 6 fun nights?
Look, I'm Nineveh, and I want to go to Jonah. I'm Jonah, and I want a ticket to Nineveh.
Nineveh? Did you say Nineveh?
Yeah. Give me a round-trip ticket.
Oh, what do you want to go there for? That's the worst place in the world. Why, they'll beat you up, they'll rob you, they'll take all your money.
Oh, maybe I ought to think this over.
They'll maybe even take your life.
I just thought it over. Give me that ticket to Tarshish.
Captain! Your God, and I'll pray to mine. Maybe one of them will save us.
This storm has been sent to destroy our ship because one of us has been sinful.
Which one of you has been bad? We will draw straws.
Captain, it's not one of your sailors who's caused this storm. I'm the one who caused it.
You, Jonah? You have caused this storm?
Yes, Captain.
How do you like that?
I knew that Jonah was a Jonah when he came aboard. My God doesn't mean to punish you. He only wants to punish me because I've disobeyed him. I've run away.
Who is this God who would do such a thing?
Oh, he's the only God, the Lord. He's made the land and sea, and I'm running away because I didn't want to obey him.
What can we do to make your God stop the storm?
You must throw me into the sea. Then the sea will become calm. It's all my fault that this danger's come to you.
Well, if that is your wish, Jonah, then it will be done. Take him and throw him overboard.
Aye, aye, sir.
I will pray to the God of Jonah. Oh, Lord, please do not punish us for throwing him overboard. He has asked us to do it. He said you have sent the storm because of him.
The God of Jonah has brought a miracle. The sea is still.
Yes. Jonah must have been right. His God must be the true God.
There's something I must tell you, Captain.
Yes, what is it?
When I threw Jonah overboard, he didn't land in the sea.
What?
No, as he went over the side, a large fish came up and swallowed him.
Well, I don't know what to make of this. But let us thank the Lord for saving us, and also that he will somehow save poor Jonah.
Now, this is weird. The last thing I remember, they were throwing me overboard. Sure is dark in here. Can't be a cave, because the walls are too soft. There's something fishy going on around here.
Jonah?
God?
Yes, Jonah, it's me. And I'm disappointed in you. I sent you to Nineveh, and you tried to run away to Tarshish.
Yeah. That's one for the book, isn't it?
Well, I will see that you get to Nineveh safely.
Thank you, God. And I'm sorry I disobeyed you. But could you tell me just one thing?
What is that, Jonah?
Where am I?
Now, Jonah, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Well, how am I going to get to Nineveh?
I told you I would see that you got there. And you know something, Jonah? On the way there, you're going to have a whale of a time.
Excuse me, sir, but is this Nineveh?
You ain't just batting your gums, pal. This is Nineveh, the wickedest, wildest, rip-roaringest, God-forsaken town you ever been in.
Well, I've got a message for you.
And I got a message for you. You're gonna like it here. Folks around here call it Sin City. Sin City, do you get it?
Now, just a minute, you. I bring you a message from God.
From whom?
From God.
You brought a message from God? Okay, what is it?
Oh, you're not gonna like it. Because of all your sinning, God's going to destroy this city, and he's going to do it in 40 days.
40 days? God's going to destroy the city in 40 days? Oh, I gotta hurry. I'll have to sin in 2 shifts. I only got 40 days to sin in.
Boy, if this ain't a kick in the head.
You must be the one they told me about, the one who has brought the message from God.
Yeah, and you better believe it, too. By the way, Your Majesty, who's your tailor?
I have ruled that all the people of Nineveh must wear sackcloth and must say their prayers to God and ask to be forgiven for all their sins. I have also decreed that all should fast.
Well, I don't know if that's going to help. God's pretty uptight about this place.
Oh, I know that God is just. When he sees everyone praying with all their hearts and sees that they are not wicked and sinful anymore, who knows? Perhaps he will not be angry anymore and will forgive us and not destroy us after all. Let us all pray.
Boy, is it hot sitting out here.
Jonah?
Yes, God?
Jonah, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to destroy that city after all.
What? After all I've gone through?
Yes, I know you've been through a lot, but all those people have been praying and repenting.
Now, look here. I already told them you were going to destroy the city. I've been counting on it. Now, if you don't destroy it, everybody's going to be laughing at me. I'd rather die than have somebody laugh at me.
Now, Jonah, just calm yourself.
Okay. But it's pretty hard to be calm when it's so hot sitting out here in the sun with no shade.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Jonah. I'll get a creeping vine to grow right alongside of you, then you can sit in the shade. Now, isn't that nice? Why don't you take a little nap? You'll feel much better.
Yeah. But I still think you should have destroyed the city. look what you've done. It's hotter than ever.
Now you're angry because I took away the vine that was protecting you from the sun, right? And yet you want me to destroy a city that's protecting more than 150,000 little children. Most of them so small they can't tell their right hand from their left.
But you're forgetting, they're our enemies.
Jonah, you know what I think? I think you're just being selfish. You want me to destroy a city just because they're not friendly to your city. And you feared being laughed at because you told them something and it didn't happen. Tell me now, aren't you ashamed? Well, why don't you look ashamed? Now, Jonah, those people repented. You forgive them now, don't you?
Yes, God.
You know, when you have forgiveness in your heart, it makes me very happy.
God, I'm kind of glad you didn't destroy the city. When I think of all those little children.
When I sent you to Nineveh, I told you that you would learn a great lesson. You have learned that you must obey me and have compassion for your fellow man. Always remember, Jonah, God loves you.
See me beautiful, look for the best in me. It's what I really am, and all I wanna be. It may take some time, it may be hard to find, but see me beautiful. See me beautiful, each and every day. Could you take a chance? Could you find a way to see me shining through in everything I do, and see me beautiful? See me beautiful, look for the best in me. It's what I really am, and all I wanna be. It may take some time, it may be hard to find, but see me beautiful. See me beautiful, each and every day. Could you take a chance? Could you find a way to see me shining through in everything I do, and see me beautiful?
I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree.
I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity. I'll go out and find some wood and carve it into something good. I'll find a rock and beat the ground and listen to its beautiful sound. 'Cause I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity.
I'll find some water and some dirt and draw some pictures on my shirt. When my mama catches me, I'll run right out and hug a tree.
'Cause I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity.
I'll find a bug and watch it crawl, climbing slowly up the wall. I'll find some things and I'll make a house and have some tea with Magic Mouse. 'Cause I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity. rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free, and live life in simplicity.